Hey guys, Dr. Epic here, back with some more Metagel. Today I wanted to talk a bit about a popular theory making the rounds in our community, this being the so-called dark energy plot of Mass Effect. I will not waste a lot of time on what it is, as I'm sure a lot of you have heard about it by now, especially if you managed to find this video. First, thank you for clicking. The dark energy plot is simply the plot of the Reapers being motivated by dark energy. Essentially, they feared that dark energy would spiral out of control and destroy the universe, akin to the real-life universal doomsday theories of, especially the so-called Big Rip, where the universe basically expands so far and so fast that it rips itself apart, which is bad news for those who live in the universe. The Immortal Reapers consider this a significant threat, one that they believed was brought about in large part by organics' use of biotics. This is why they systematically eradicate organics. Why they seemingly returned over every 50,000 years is unknown, but it's likely this is just the most effective time span according to the Reaper algorithms. Since life finds a way, they have to routinely return to the Milky Way and potentially other galaxies, even though the later games make it pretty clear that the Reapers only care about the Milky Way to make sure nothing evolves and grows too big and dangerous. Essentially, the end of the universe is caused by dark energy introduced by organic biotics. This story point is, as many have noticed, alluded to in Mass Effect 2 when you venture into Geth-controlled space around the mysteriously dying star Dolan. Other than that, it's pretty clearly scrapped by Mass Effect 3, instead revealing that the Reapers were motivated by searching for everlasting peace between organics and synthetics by murdering organics before they could create too evil and too powerful synthetics. Now I thought, upon starting Mass Effect Andromeda, that the Scourge was in fact some manifestation of the dark energy problems of the dark energy plot, or at least inspired by it. The latter I think is correct. Spoiler alert, when you finish Andromeda it seems clear that the Scourge was an artificial weapon and not the universe itself breaking down. We'll have to see in the upcoming games what'll happen with this plot point. Now, I don't think there is any room to bring back the dark energy plot as the core motivation for the Reapers. But the fact still remains, the star Dolan in the Milky Way was dying earlier than it should, something both the Quarians and the very intelligent Geth were perplexed by. And this plot thread hasn't been tied up to this day. This means that there is a reason to bring this plot back in some form. It could be related to the Scourge of Andromeda. The only question is now, should the dark energy plot in any form return to Mass Effect? On the one hand, Mass Effect has always had mysterious, dreadful and Lovecraftian horrors as their main antagonist force, that is, the Reapers. Even though faceless and abstract, the universe's slowly dying state could be an effective and compelling arc. I mean, look at Interstellar. The only bad guy, except for some crazy humans, are the forces of the universe itself. They are literally only fighting the elements and climate change and some hungry bugs, and that is still a compelling story. I think Mass Effect could do some good with that theme as well. Andromeda already had good thematic similarities with Interstellar in regards to the focus on exploration of faraway galaxies. That said, we need a tangible villain. I also think we need an additional plot to drive the story, so that stopping or failing to stop the universal decay isn't the only outcome at the end of the story. We need to see how the galactic communities are affected, as well as preferably some other extinction level threat. Be that someone reverse engineering a new Reaper, the return of the Flood, or the Lambent, who knows. I want to make it clear that I don't think the dark energy plot would be strong enough on its own. Tie it in with the Jardan and the mysterious opposition of Mass Effect Andromeda, and then I think we could have something worthwhile. This brings me to my next point. A variant of the dark energy plot could be reintroduced without breaking the suspension of disbelief, which Mass Effect has always been so good at avoiding. Like I said earlier, it has ties to existing plot threads in both the old trilogy and the new Andromeda, respectively the Dolan plot and the Scourge Jardan plot. The latter being even more fitting than the Dolan plot. Mass Effect, as always, has been about fighting foes incomprehensibly more powerful than you, and this could be a great way to add to the insurmountableness and dread. On the other hand, this plot could be very constrictive on the writers, and forcing them into a box they would find great difficulty in making a coherent and engaging story in. That said, at one point, you as a writer have to make a hard decision in what box to move into, and what to include and what to restrict yourself to. Another counter-argument is that if this plot was introduced, it would be the be-all, end-all game stopper, the unjumpable shark, the Avengers Endgame for Mass Effect. No other villain could possibly top the destruction of the universe without introducing time travel and multiverses, something I personally hate in stories that aren't centered around these things, as it negates all risk and reward from a story if the main characters could just jump to a different universe. This shouldn't scare the writers too much though, as the same was being said about the OG trilogy given the Reaper's unmatched power level. Yet here we are with new sequels being announced. Of course, in Andromeda one of the big problems story-wise was that they couldn't just make a new villain that was the Reapers, but bigger. So they rather went the opposite direction with the Cat. Something I actually support, at least conceptually, though I wish they expanded on the threat and role of the Jardin and opposition more, and even maybe made the Cat a little bit more scary. In summation, I think there is just cause for reintroducing the dark energy plot, and many fans have always wanted to see it in the game in some form. So in conclusion, I do think it should return in some form. And if it does not, I of course won't be mad in any way, as long as the substitute is satisfying. Do you agree though, or do you disagree? You can let me know in the comments, and as always, you just have to like if cool, and dislike if cringe. This is Dr. Epic, signing out.